qualified immunity. Two words that carry immense weight. They represent a legal doctrine shielding government officials, particularly law enforcement, from civil lawsuits. This protection applies even when they violate someone's constitutional rights. The logic? It's better to protect officials from frivolous lawsuits than to expose them to liability for every mistake. This doctrine, however, has drawn sharp criticism. Critics argue that it creates a culture of impunity. They say it shields officers from accountability for misconduct. The result? A system where victims of police brutality and misconduct struggle to find justice. This fuels distrust between communities and those sworn to protect them. The debate over qualified immunity isn't new. It's been raging for years. Yet recent events, particularly high-profile cases of police violence, have pushed it to the forefront. The death of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and countless others ignited a firestorm. People demanded change. They wanted an end to the injustice. Ohio, a state grappling with its own history of police-community tensions, has stepped into this fray. Their weapon of choice? A bold constitutional amendment aimed at dismantling qualified immunity. The fight, however, is far from over. The path to justice, as always, is paved with obstacles. Ohio's proposed amendment is a beacon of hope. It represents a potential turning point in the fight for police accountability. This amendment seeks to strip away the shield of qualified immunity. It aims to make it easier to hold law enforcement officers responsible for their actions. The amendment's goal is simple equality under the law. No one, regardless of their badge, should be above the law. Ohioans deserve the right to seek justice when their rights are violated. This amendment, if passed, would be a monumental victory for accountability. The amendment faces fierce opposition. Leading the charge is Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost. Yost, a staunch defender of law enforcement, has repeatedly attempted to block the amendment. His argument? He claims the amendment's language is misleading and doesn't accurately portray the issue. Yost's attempts to thwart the amendment have been met with accusations of obstructionism. Critics argue that he's standing in the way of progress. They say he's protecting a system that shields misconduct. The battle lines have been drawn, setting the stage for a legal showdown. The fight over Ohio's qualified immunity amendment has moved from the court of public opinion to the actual courts. Attorney General Yost's repeated rejections of the amendment's language sparked a legal challenge. The amendment's supporters, a coalition of civil rights groups and concerned citizens, refused to back down. A lower court sided with the amendment's proponents. They ruled that Yost's objections were without merit. The judge found the amendment's language to be clear and accurate. This victory, however, was short-lived. Yost, undeterred, appealed the decision to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, in a split decision, vacated the lower court's stay. This ruling cleared the path for the amendment to proceed. The justices' decision, however, was not without dissent. Justices Kavanaugh, Alito, and Thomas voiced their opposition. This dissent highlights the deep divisions within the court and across the nation. The Supreme Court's decision is a significant victory for the amendment's supporters. It keeps their hopes alive, but it's not the end of the road. They still face a daunting task, gathering enough signatures to get the amendment on the ballot. The fight to end qualified immunity in Ohio now enters a crucial phase, the petition drive. Amendment supporters must collect over 440,000 valid signatures from registered voters across the state. This is no easy feat. It will require a grassroots mobilization effort. The outcome of this petition drive will likely hinge on public awareness and engagement. Supporters must effectively communicate the amendment's purpose. They need to convince Ohioans that ending qualified immunity is essential for achieving true justice. If the amendment makes it onto the ballot and passes, the impact would be far-reaching. It could set a precedent for other states considering similar measures. It could force a national reckoning on the issue of police accountability. The road ahead is long and uncertain. The fight for justice rarely follows a straight line, but one thing is clear. Ohio's bold move has ignited a spark. It has the potential to reshape the landscape of law enforcement accountability, not just in Ohio, but across the nation.